Hello, this is Scott, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the ENFJ description according to Myers-Briggs personality typing. Okay, and in order to understand the ENFJ, the first thing you're going to need to do is understand their four main functions. Now, the first function of the ENFJ is known as extroverted feeling, or FE. This is their primary way of taking in the world. They traditionally want to understand the world and its emotions and what everyone's feeling. They're very good at empathizing with others and really understanding where they're coming from, as well as assessing the mood of a situation and just kind of knowing how everyone feels in that environment. And they're also very good at kind of changing that mood, whether they want to bring it up or change it in a positive way or anything like that. So yeah, that's extroverted feeling, and that's their primary function. The second function of an ENFJ is what is known as introverted intuition, or NI, and now this one is more internal. This one is more how they feel internally, and kind of it's their inner sense of how they believe things are going to play out. It's almost like a gut feeling, maybe a little bit mystical, because it's very good at seeing how events are going to play out and kind of almost predicting the future in a strange way. So yeah, that's introverted. So they might have a little bit of a hard time explaining this to other people, but nonetheless, it is there, and it's very important in guiding an ENFJ as far as what decisions to take and what steps to take to get the outcome that they want in the future. And now the third function of the ENFJ is what is known as extroverted sensing, or SE. Now this is developed a little bit later in the ENFJ's life, and it's basically what it is taking the external world and trying to understand it, and just sensing everything that's around you, taste, feel, touch, whatever it is. The ENFJ can become very good at just being immersed in the present moment and kind of, just knowing and sensing everything that's going on. So yeah, that's developed a little bit later, but it is something that the ENFJs have. That is their third function. And for their fourth function, the ENFJ has is introverted thinking, or TI. Now this function never really becomes a strength for the ENFJ because it kind of conflicts with their extroverted feeling perception of the world. But basically what it is introverted thinking just takes the world and wants to understand it logically and kind of develop an internal framework of how everything works, and it just wants everything to make sense logically. And you can see how this kind of can conflict with extroverted feeling, whereas extroverted feeling kind of just wants to understand everyone else's emotions, and they don't technically have to make logical sense. It just makes they could just understand people's emotions. So yeah, this introverted thinking never really becomes a strength for an ENFJ, but it can show itself sometimes when the ENFJ is stressed out, and I'll be talking about that in couple upcoming slides. But basically, yeah, that's introverted thinking. Alright, next I'm going to talk about the ENFJ strengths. And one of the strengths of the ENFJ is that they're very good with communication skills. They're very good at talking, just expressing themselves or understanding others, and just just in general, just good with people, good at communicating what they want to get across. And yeah, also they're very motivational and inspirational. There's quite a few ENFJs that are motivational speakers and or leaders in some way that inspire people to take action, and just kind of get them off their butts or whatever, and just kind of get them motivated and get them going. So yeah, that's another strength of an ENFJ. They're also very loyal and committed. The people that they are close to, they feel a connection to. They really want them to be they really want to be there for them, and they really look out for them and want to help them grow as a person, and just be supportive. So yeah, and also they strive for win-win situations. They're very ENFJs very much care about others, and probably even maybe a little bit more than themselves. Yeah, I would say that yeah, so they're always looking for win-win situations, and just helping somebody else out is just as important as helping themselves out. So they're always striving for something like that, and they're also very driven to meet others' needs. Kind of like I've talked about before, they're really looking to help somebody out, and by understanding their emotions very well, they kind of almost intuitively know what people are feeling, and what they can do to make them better, or inspire them, or improve their mood. So yeah, that's a couple strengths of the ENFJ. And now, while every type has their strengths, every type also does have a few weaknesses. So I'm just going to go over a couple of areas the ENFJ might need to look out for, and one could be that they could be very overprotective and somewhat overwhelming with people that they're close to. While they have a very caring nature and a very giving nature, they also sometimes can be a little too much for some people, and just kind of some people that might want their own personal space. ENFJ might have a hard time understanding that, and just not understanding that they don't want them always to be there, but it's a give and take sort of thing. So yeah, and also another potential weakness is that they can neglect their own needs. So while an ENFJ is always trying to help out, this could lead to some internal problems with themselves, because they're always their first priority is to help other people, so their needs might not be met, and they might neglect these, which could obviously cause some health issues, or some other problems. So yeah, that's something to look out for. They may also tend to blame themselves too much for a situation. Like if a relationship doesn't turn out well, they might say that it's their fault, or if they weren't able to get a task done, or something, they could say it's their that it was because of them instead of some external circumstance or something else. And in the same way, also, when things are going well, they might not give themselves enough credit for what was going on and what they were doing to help get the situation to where it's at. So yeah, that's something else. And finally, there's ENFJs can have a tendency to be controlling or manipulative, because ENFJs, they're very good at understanding other people's emotions and also kind of influencing the situation. So sometimes they could do this, just almost naturally, and not be aware of how much they are changing other people's actions or influencing the outcome. And I mean, this while it's inspirational and motivational, in most cases, if they're stressed out or something, it could negatively affect the situation. So yeah, that's something that the ENFJ might have to keep in check. And like I was talking about before, with the ENFJs under stress, when they are under stress, they go into what is known as their shadow functions, and that's just causes them to almost behave in the opposite way of how they traditionally would. And when they're under stress, this can cause them to become very critical and constantly find faults about situations. So if they're in a situation where if something's not going the way they want, and they're just kind of down on the situation they're in, it can cause them to just kind of be critical about that, and just kind of think that everything's going wrong, and pointing everything out that they don't like, or just kind of easily annoyed or frustrated with. And that can cause some stress with other people that are around in the environment. And another thing, when they're under stress, they can start to do things to excess, whether it's drinking, overeating, drugs, or gambling, or anything that is just kind of a reckless behavior, which kind of goes against the ENFJ's typically organized and planned out, methodical nature a little bit. So yeah, that's something that they'd have to look out for when they're stressed out. And they also have a tendency to ignore others' feelings during this time, so obviously that's completely against how they typically behave. So that could be a problem, just from people that aren't expecting that kind of behavior from the ENFJ. And also, they can search or ask for too much useless information. So this is kind of an example of that introverted thinking I was talking about coming out. The ENFJ might want everything to logically make sense and just kind of sort things out, and that isn't exactly their strength. So just by doing this can cause them to constantly be searching for information before taking action, and just kind of maybe paralyze their actions and their thoughts and everything, and just kind of make them shut down, which is uncharacteristic of how they normally act, and as they're more of a proactive personality. So yeah, that's the ENFJ. And if you're looking for more on how the ENFJ can grow, as well as jobs and careers that the ENFJ is a very good fit into, I'd encourage you to go and visit personalitygrowth.com/ENFJ. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And also, if you have any comments or questions, just go ahead and post those below. I'll do my best to answer those. And if a lot of people are asking similar questions, I'll probably post a video. So yeah, and lastly, I'd ask that you'd subscribe to this page, because I'm constantly making new videos about personal growth, as well as the Myers-Briggs functions and everything else. So yeah, I just encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you.